let's talk about sex, Sagittarius. I mean, I could be this bold and this honest with probably only this one sign in the zodiac. Hey, welcome to Zira's Journey. I'm Madeline. I'm very excited to read for you, Sagittarius, but we gotta start, before we get into your month, with your mission statement. This month, Spirit is asking you to honor your sacred sexuality. Now, a couple things about this. Our sexuality can say a lot about us. It can tell us a lot. You know, it can tell us where some of our wounds are. It can certainly tell us what some of our desires are. It can tell us, it's got a lot of layers. What does sex mean to us? Are we having enough? Are we not having enough? Do we wish we were having more? Do we wish we were having none? Is it satisfying? On what levels is it satisfying? Is it physically satisfying? Is it emotionally? Is it psychically? Like, how satisfied are you? And reminder that you don't need to be having sex with any other people in order to be using your sexuality. You don't even need to be having sex with yourself in order to use your sexuality. We know about monks and other religious leaders and folks like that who, ideally in a healthy way, but that's a whole other video, we're not even going to get into it, transmute that sexual energy into creativity, into, you know, spirit and creativity are the same thing. So into channeling, into spiritual work, into activism, etc. It's our animus, it's our fire. What do you do with your fire? Are you banking it? Are you putting it out? Are you putting it in somebody else's hands? When it comes to your sexual past, have you accepted too little? Have you taken too much? Like, how does sex hit you? What are your needs? Do you know what your needs are? Do you know what your boundaries are? Do you know what your no-goes and please yeses are? Spirit wants you to get in touch with that this month. Even getting in touch with your own body. So, I mean, listen, I said we were going to get real blunt. Spirit's talking about the fact that even when people are pleasuring themselves, like, we can race to orgasm. Like, that's the whole point, right? Is like, I just want to have an orgasm and then I want to get on with my life, or go to sleep, or whatever it is, you know, pick your poison. And Spirit is saying, hey, have you considered making love to yourself rather than getting yourself off, right? And please consider that to extend even past sex, masturbation, etc. In what ways, in what areas of your life could you be making love to yourself rather than trying to get yourself off, trying to rush to satisfaction, and instead being involved and fully present for the whole process, right? Because isn't that sacred sex? If you've ever really been with somebody where the connection was just like so solid and so connective, and like the magic that can happen with that kind of union. Spirit wants you to have both that external union and that internal union with yourself. So keep that in mind as we get into your tarot cards and get into the story of October. How can you make your life in general, but also your sex life and your body, your sexuality, feel sacred? How can you ritualize, ceremonialize, if there are wounds that need to be transmuted, if there are tears or passions or physical throes that need to be released? This is the month. This is a really great time to be doing that kind of work. Okay? Okay. Now, Sagittarius, let's talk about the month of October. Spirit, what do you want to let Sagittarians know this month? Sagittarius sun, moon, rising, and dominant fulls. What do Sagittarians need to know? The truth for their highest good, Spirit. What energies do you want Sagittarius to be aware of this month for their highest good? Where do you want to let them know that they are in their journey? Where are they headed? And how can they get to their future in the most joyful, secure, loving, fun, honest way possible? Sagittarius, Spirit, what does Sagittarius need to know in the month of October? Let's see what we got. Okay, got a bonus card, Sag. Okay, the month of October for Sagittarius, month of October. Okay. Here's you being your blunt ass self. The Emperor has no clothes. That man buck naked. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Page of Swords, delivering perhaps a little bit of an ill-timed or maybe just very blunt message. But it feels, you know what? I'm gonna say it feels like it's necessary. And even an unvarnished, unpolished truth is better than a pretty lie. So operate on that fucking principle this month. Okay. You've got a lot of options in front of you, Sagittarius. So I feel like this month discernment is your friend. You're going to get, it feels like a lot of opportunities and engagements and ideas. And so being choosy about which ones are worth your time, effort, energy seems really important. Bear with me. I am going to pull, I just want to get a clarifying card because it looks like your future, like I said, is full of possibilities and options. But Spirit, looking at these 7 cups, what advice, what guidance do you want to give Sagittarius when it comes to what is worth putting their time into? Okay, no surprise here. Your creative, your spiritual, your soul work is what Spirit is asking you to put your time into. That is what is going to bring you satisfaction. So here's where you kick off your reading. Page of Swords, telling the truth, not really giving a fuck about the climate of the room. That's the thing about the Page of Swords, is like, oh, did that upset your apple cart? Well, too bad for you. Like, the truth is the truth and I can't do anything about it. Now, the truth may be the truth. And like I said, always, always, always a rough truth is better than a polished lie, for sure. Having said that, your crossing card, another good card. No, like, listen, there's no danger for you in these cards. It feels like there's somebody else who might get hurt, or you might have, like, you might create unintended consequences by being blunt, okay? Let's jump to the energy around you. 3 of Swords. Pain, separation, betrayal, even things like breakups. And it doesn't have to be that extreme, but it's like you can create separation if you kind of just go off the top of your head and you don't take any time because you're feeling this way. Like, well, crossed arms, like, well, like I said, that's just what the truth is, and like, I know, and I'm satisfied with my truth, and etc. I want to make it super clear. If you know that you're like being honest and you're being true to yourself and to everybody in the situation, and you just need to speak the truth and it's going to put some people off, then that's good. Do that. Now, crowning your reading, a King of Swords, not a page. Below that, what's going on inside of you? Temperance. This is a great card for you. It's a great card for anybody, but Sagittarius, this is the Sagittarius card. So this is when you are in your power, you are in harmony, you are in flow. And from that place of harmony and flow versus like 9 of Cups, which is, well, there's plenty of water, but it's kind of contained and stagnant. Whereas this is like moving and refreshing and nourishing. So rather than being like, this is my truth and I'm fine with it because like I'm self-satisfied and I don't have to do any different because like this is me and who cares, rather than kind of having that, you know, a little bit immature, maybe not fully aligned type of truth, from a place of inner peace and harmony and not perfection but moderation, you'll be able to share messages and truths that really resonate with people and be a real thought leader. Not like, you know, in astrology, we can talk about like, I'll put it in these terms because that's often how it's described, like a higher form of Sagittarius and a lower form of Sagittarius. We want to make it super fucking clear. We're not talking about some people being worth more than others. That's not what this is about. It's about evolution. It's about, we could say, maturity. On the lower end of Sagittarius honesty is that bluntness, I don't give a shit who gets hurt, this is what the truth is, haha. Like, on the higher end is that very wide, broad, the world type of perspective of like, wow, it's not just my truth, I can see all truth. I can see why to that person, this is their truth. And in comparison to my truth, I can see this third truth. You know what I'm saying? Temperance, moderation, there's an in-between. You know, like when we look at the infinity symbol, temperance is like that point right at the middle, like where all the truths meet. So Sagittarius, can you express that higher honesty that takes responsibility for how much your words resonate with other people? Like, if you really know that you're a thought leader and you know like that you're going to influence people with what you say, put that weight into your words or your work or the way that you walk through the world, the way that you lead your life. The more that you act like a king, and remember, you can be anywhere on the gender spectrum and show up as a king or queen. Kings are known for managing versus maybe cultivating or creating, which is more of a queenly thing, right? So this month, you are meant to manage your thoughts. You are meant to manage your words. You are meant to master them. Like, what is my message? How am I a thought leader? How can I share the gift of truth that creates harmony and flow and balance, rather than it creates my satisfaction, which is fun. And you know, do what you want. Your free will is everything. But I feel like you can get something more from deciding that you are more. Let me just say it like that, the way Spirit is saying it. Now, in the recent past, 6 of Wands, being noticed, sharing your work, sharing your thoughts, your spirit, your creativity. Spirit is saying people have been giving you applause and paying attention and really enjoying it. And they want you to stay focused. Stay focused. You might get a little bit of shiny object syndrome in October, where all these new ideas or new opportunities or new invitations pop up. And like I said, that's wonderful. And this is an opportunity to practice discernment. This is an opportunity to be a King of Swords versus a Page of Swords. And this is what Spirit is saying with this little pairing at the center, is a Page of Swords might try to grab every single cup thinking, well, more is better. And Spirit's like, no, discernment. More is not necessarily better. Actually, in this case, like, you want fewer cups so you can pour more of yourself into each of them and get full cups rather than 7 half empty or completely drained cups. You know what I'm saying? So what is really worth your time and effort and energy in October? Like, just think October. What would I like to have created improvement on or made some distance on or whatever by the end of October? What would make me feel really good and proud of myself? And as your clarifiers, Spirit says it's something you've been working on for a while. 9 of Wands is about, hey, yeah, you've been through it. You're still working on it. You might be a little tired and beat up and feeling like, damn, really? Like, are we still having to go? We're not there yet. It's time to get into some groups. It's time to get with, you know, another set of eyes, maybe even another couple set of eyes. Like, hey, could you come in and edit this? Or could you give me your opinion on this? Or I want to take a class and get better at this skill because I've been going long and hard enough on my own. Maybe if I get a teacher or a guide or a healer or whatever involved to help me, it will improve the situation, and it will. Where you find yourself is the 2 of Pentacles. So to see the 3 of Pentacles as part of your future says you're on path. You're on path. Now is the time to make adjustments. And these are speaking of practical adjustments. Sagittarius, quick reminder, check out the symbolism here. What we have, even if it is just 2 cups, even if it is just 2 pentacles, can become infinite if we keep it fresh. If we are willing to make adjustments, if we are willing to move and create harmony and balance. And Spirit is talking about not this balance where it's like the scales are completely equal, nothing is moving, it's static. No, you're talking about harmony. There's time at this kind of balance. A little here, a little there. Maybe I have to do a little more today, so I'll do a little less tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Balance, flow, not going so hard that then you have to take 3 days off. Do you know what I'm saying? Spirit is like consistency over intensity. If 15 minutes every day, well, I won't even say if, 15 minutes of whatever it is you want to make an improvement on every day is better than saying, I'm going to do this for 3 or 4 hours every single day for the rest of my life, and then you don't do it because that just sounds awful and imposing. Little at a time, little bites. The potential. You putting your ideas out there. You going up against all these other wands. Yes, pitting your idea against others. Throwing your hat in the ring, saying, yes, my app. Yes, my course. Yes, my channel, my blog, my account, my art, whatever. Yeah, me too, motherfuckers. And I like it. I want to see that. I want to see you out here showing off. Thought leader. Now the key to your reading, Sagittarius, is to know what you've got going for you. The Queen of Wands, Sagittarius energy here, fire. You are magical, you are creative, you are charismatic, you have something good to offer people, something warm, something bright, like a torch that can lead people right in the dark. But first you got to lead yourself out of the dark. So how do you lead yourself, Sagittarius? How do you treat yourself? The Eight of Swords speaks of holding ourselves back out of a fear of not being good enough. This month, you face your fear of quote unquote not being good enough. You are being offered the opportunity to throw your hat in the ring and say, yeah, me too, and to be received beautifully for it. It's your time, Sagittarius. I hope that this is helpful in helping you take care of yourself and helping you recognize your power and your passion and how you can wield those for yourself and for the greater good. It's a beautiful thing, Sag. Thank you for listening. I really hope that the time you spent here pays for itself many times over. And if I don't see you in one of the weekend vlogs, then I hope I will see you in your November reading. Bye, Sag.